For those of us who want to be healthier, who want more from life, who want to be more empowered, Amway can be the opportunity that pushes us forward. With a business designed for today's entrepreneur. It starts with high-quality products, Nutrilite, plant-based nutrition, from the best of nature and best of science, to improve your performance. Artistry skincare and beauty, designed for your individual needs. And safe, high-quality choices for cooking and for your home. eSpring, for clean water to drink, and Atmosphere, for clean air to breathe. Selling Amway products can help you earn extra, or help you build a business that fits with your lifestyle. It's low cost, low risk, open to anyone, and it's up to you, your goals, and your definition of success.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Unleashing Our Potential virtual meeting. During today's meeting, you will hear more about our strategy for Europe and Southern Africa and how it is designed to unleash our collective potential and help you take your businesses to the next level. Joining us for our discussion today are John Parker, Chief Sales Officer and President of Amway's Western Markets, Melody Knockley, Managing Director for Europe and Southern Africa, Ruben Familia, Chief Sales Officer for Europe and Southern Africa, and Imran Zaman, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer for Europe and Southern Africa. Please note that while this meeting will be conducted in English, we are also providing live translation into 9 other languages. You can choose your preferred language by clicking on the headphone icon located toward the lower right portion of the broadcast screen. Also, as with our past meetings, this will be an interactive session where you will have the opportunity to submit your questions throughout the meeting. You will find this feature located just below the broadcast screen. We have reserved the last 30 minutes of this 2 hours together to answer as many questions as we can. Of course, any questions that we do not have time to get to will be answered in future communications from the Amway leadership team and during your calls with local market leaders. Finally, should you experience any technical difficulties during this meeting, please know it will be recorded, subtitled in local languages, and posted on Amway Online in the coming weeks. So thank you once again for joining us, and now it is my pleasure to turn this meeting over to Melody to get us started. Over to you, Melody.
To all of you to this special virtual event about unleashing our potential. I hope all of you are doing well and remaining healthy, following best practices to stay safe and prevent the spread of COVID-19. I'm looking forward to the day that I don't have to begin every welcome with a reference to the pandemic, but this is just a reflection of the times that we're living in. I also want to take a moment to thank our leaders for their patience, and I'm sure many of you are joining us again today after our broadcast on Tuesday, where we saw some technical challenges and difficulties. We hope to have solved those and that today's broadcast is smooth without any interruptions. Today, we have asked you to join us so that we can share more about our global strategy, which we are calling A70, and how that strategy is guiding our priorities for Europe and Southern Africa. Our strategy is all about unleashing our potential through social commerce, powered by new digital platforms, new products that will create really memorable experiences for you and your customers. Plus enhancements to our compensation plan that rewards new ABOs sooner and supports the creation of more sustainable, profitable business structures that will carry our business forward for the years to come. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Ruben Familia, our Chief Sales Officer for Amway Europe and Southern Africa, as well as Imran Zaman, our Chief Digital and Marketing Officer for Amway Europe and Southern Africa. And of course, we're joined by John Parker, our Chief Sales Officer and Regional President for Amway. Here, I'm pleased to welcome John to this meeting. Thank you, John.
Greetings, everyone. It's great to be with you virtually today and spend some time talking about the business and the future. First, thank you for all that you have done to adapt and pivot throughout this pandemic, allowing your teams to move forward where many other types of businesses have faltered. This has been a difficult time for all of us, but you have risen to the occasion to support others, whether they are members of your groups or the customers you serve. But this is not surprising, nor is it new, as we have seen ABOs respond to big challenges throughout the years. We certainly have experienced some learnings during this pandemic. This meeting we're doing right now, it's something we would never have imagined just 4 months ago. We are all discovering how valuable it is to leverage technology, to have regular touch points with each other. We would much rather meet in person, of course, but I think we're seeing some of the benefits of the virtual connections that have been forced upon us due to COVID-19. In fact, this pandemic has revealed a number of interesting trends. First, the increased digitization of just about everything. Effective digital shopping platforms and online business management tools are central to the success of most businesses. We've seen that offline communities can continue to flourish online, and that online communities can expand in ways they probably cannot offline. For a business like ours, built on personal connections, this trend represents a huge opportunity. Second, we've also seen an increased interest in products that promote healthy lifestyles and clean environments. You all saw the spike in demand for nutritional, home care, and home tech products. That interest will remain high as consumers now have a heightened awareness of health risks and how swiftly they can invade our lives. COVID-19 represents a strong call for doing all we can to boost our personal wellness and immunities and to create clean environments where germs and viruses don't spread easily. This trend also plays to our collective strengths in the Amway business. Third, this pandemic has played havoc on the abilities of many to earn an income to support their families. Interest in business opportunities that leverage personal passions to create new streams of income is high. Again, this is a trend that we can use to unleash the potential of your businesses in Europe, in Southern Africa, and around the world. Interestingly, these trends all fit nicely into what Amway's global strategy is designed to do, our A70 vision. A70 is a vision for what our business can be by the end of this decade, when we all celebrate our 70th anniversary, just as we did last year for our 60th. Our A70 vision is for an even better direct selling Amway business, what we call a social commerce business that leverages online and offline communities built around your passions, supported by must-have products for our health, our homes, and our active lifestyles. Our A70 vision is about making it 10 times easier for ABOs, especially those who are new to our business, to build a community of ABOs and customers in order to earn a meaningful income from day one in their Amway journey. When ABOs achieve early income, they will stay longer to enjoy the long-term benefits of this great business. Our A70 vision is about helping all of you build more sustainable business structures that are built to last and that optimize your earnings potential. Our A70 vision also is about developing a growth mindset for all of us within the company, just like you have had for many years, where we continually learn and challenge ourselves to grow and be better, and continually try new things without fear of failure. In short, A70 is about building a better and a bigger business. Our enduring partnership. A70 was developed in partnership with ABO leaders from around the world, and our success will not be achievable without building on the partnership that we enjoy with all of you. The strong partnership that exists between Amway and ABOs goes back to the very beginning of the business in 1959, and it will remain strong when we celebrate our 70th anniversary in 2029. Many of you have been on this journey with us for many years, and we are committed to working with you for years and generations to come. To be successful as a corporation, we first have to ensure that you and all your ABOs are successful, and that begins with leaders like all of you. I have great confidence in the team that we have in place for Amway Europe and Southern Africa. Melody, Ruben, and Imran have each demonstrated outstanding leadership and tremendous partnership throughout their Amway careers. They are here to walk every step of this journey with you, sharing insights and learning from your experiences as we all work together to grow healthy, sustainable businesses that will make a better, bigger future Amway for all of us. Thank you for having me here today. I'm now happy to turn it back over to Melody. Melody?
Thank you, John. And we're so grateful that John was able to join us today. And I just want to reiterate what John has already said and thanking all of you for your amazing contributions to this business over the years and especially over the past few months. This has been really a challenging time that has required all of us to stretch outside of our comfort zones and grow in the process. Like most of you, I really look forward to the time when we can again speak face-to-face on a regular basis, to meet with our friends and associates, and conduct business and the life in all the ways that we're used to. I do appreciate the new skills that we've learned and the new ways of interacting. This was really forced upon us, and as we say in the US, we took lemons and we made lemonades out of the current situation. The attitude that I've seen from all of you over the past several months, I truly appreciate in so many ways. I've seen you demonstrate the true leadership by remaining positive influences for your teams, finding new ways of meeting, guiding them, inspiring each other, and working with all of us in the company to press forward. Now, I want to take this opportunity to share with you what I've learned through my listening tour earlier this year, prior to the pandemic putting a stop to my ability to meet with all of you face to face. I did, however, have the opportunity to continue to listen and learn from all of you, and I want to thank you for all of your support in the past few months, 6 to be exact. Here's what I've learned along the way. We have an incredible opportunity to grow our business by focusing on the basics of product availability and service levels. These are areas where we can improve how we deliver the experience for you and your customers. COVID-19 has not really helped us much in this front, but we're committed to continue to invest into our supply chain infrastructure and customer service capabilities to improve your experience. I have also learned that our leaders here in Europe and Southern Africa are so passionate about this business. Many of you have been with Amway for a very long time. You have tremendous experience and established ways of operating. You care deeply for your teams and want what's best for them. We're committed to working with you to evolve our business practices by leveraging new technologies, teaching new business practices, and capitalizing on market trends, helping you grow your business and becoming more profitable. We also know that we're facing challenges around acquiring new customers. Because customers are so important to our new business, and Ruben will talk more about this in the upcoming segment, we're committed to working with you on how new ABOs are taught to present products to potential customers, how new ABOs become a product of the product, and how products are represented and purchased online by ABOs and your customers. A positive customer experience is fundamental to supporting your ability to attract new customers and retain them. I've also learned that we're having challenges and we face challenges around retaining new ABOs. Too many new ABOs leave too soon simply because they found our business too complex or did they not achieve early wins that would help them stick around. Our opportunity is to help new ABOs create those early successes, providing them with easier pathways to income that keeps them engaged and in our business for the long run. Lastly, the conversation that I've had with our employees across Europe, from Scandinavia to Eastern Europe to Southern Africa, Italy, Spain, you name it, and you, our ABOs, has led me to understand that we do have complexities, but we also have a lot of silos within our organization. We will work together as one community across Europe and Southern Africa, combining our skills and talents across diverse markets to partner with you. We will demonstrate a founder's growth mindset where we learn new ways to work and not just simply do what we've always done, but seek new and better ways to support you at every turn. Now, I want to talk about and share with you market challenges that we're facing that we all together need to work to overcome. These are learnings that have come based on our global experience, each providing new opportunities to grow and achieve new results. First, Amway markets have a high initial growth rate that slows down over time. We've seen this again and again. Many of our markets are at the point where we would see a decline here in Europe and Southern Africa. This is an opportunity for all of us to rewrite history, because the new income opportunities, the new platforms, the new products that we will be introducing in the coming months and years represent a new day for us in our business. We also see a concerning downward trend of buyers across Europe. But we also see markets such as Hungary, Romania, Iberia, Poland, and Italy define this trend. We want to learn from these markets and other markets around the world. Our plan is to help new ABOs develop community of customers and build upon those experiences we have seen in some of our leading markets, which will help preserve this overall trend. Another challenge we're addressing is the weak income competitiveness in our business opportunity, especially at the leader levels. This is primarily true for our Western markets. This is the difference between our actual earnings of leaders through their Amway businesses and what we believe their target earnings should be. Through the programs we will launch, more new ABOs will be retained and greater customer volume generated, helping leaders to earn new awards and optimize the profitability of their businesses. Finally, the percent of U35 leaders has continued to decline over the past decade, and today, U35 represents 6% of our platinums and above. Retaining more new ABOs, earning more money with communities of customers, and new bonuses will help restock our pool of future leaders in this business. Now, we're embarking together on a transformation journey. Through this meeting and conversations with leaders across Europe and Southern Africa, I know we have the leadership and the plan required to transform our business by helping new ABOs become successful by building their base of customers. With A70, Amway will unleash entrepreneurship with online and offline platforms that will amplify communities through social channels, turning profits into profits. 870 introduces the concept of social commerce, addressing our business proposition, our digital e-commerce, our business platforms, our products, as well as addressing our pain points and building on the partnership we enjoy with all of you. In Europe, our 2020 priorities are meant to support our leaders, your success, optimizing this business at every level. We have a sense of urgency. We're committed to move on them because initiatives are all about helping you earn more money and be more successful with Amway. Our top priorities for 2020 include preparation for the launch of Core Plus, execution of Commerce Next, and our go-to-market redesign. These priorities will be addressed by Ruben and Imran shortly. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to share my vision with all of you. I envision a future where our ABO leaders run more profitable businesses by optimizing the sales generated by an increased number of retained ABOs. I envision a future where new ABOs learn simple steps to building community of customers and earn enough income early to stay with this business for its long-term potential and opportunity. I also envision a future where customers are excited to come back to Amway for their products again and again, and they see the unique value that we have to offer. This is a very achievable future. I believe in this future, especially when we work together. In a moment, our Chief Sales Officer, Ruben Familia, and our Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, Imran Zaman, will share our plans in greater detail. But first, let's take this opportunity to hear from our co-chair of the Amway board, Doug DeVos.
It's so great to have a chance to connect with Amway leaders throughout Europe. You know, it's been a few months since we had our live event and we were able to all be together, and there's been a lot of technology that we've been using to get together, and it's a good thing we have that because we can't get together physically, and we miss that opportunity for sure. So I trust you're all well, and I trust that you're dealing with the environment around us and the changes that have been happening as well as you can. And I wanted just to let you know that from our perspective, we're amazed at how well everyone is adapting and adjusting, and the entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well as we move forward and do things a little bit differently because we have to. And so as we deal with change in life, you know, that's really part of what the business has been. We've dealt with a lot of it right now with COVID-19 for sure, but in the 60 years of Amway's history, we've dealt with a lot of change as well. I remember at the A50 event when Dad did the video of sailing through these storms of things kind of coming at us, and then found his way through to the sunshine on the other side. And sometimes we feel like we're in the storms and we're looking to find that sunshine. But let me just kind of address a few thoughts about where we are with the Amway business today, the changes that are happening internally, not just from the outside in, but that we're doing, and make sure we're all on the same page, because this is important stuff. You know, the Amway business has this foundation, the foundations that Dad and Jay put in place, and they have never left us. They are as present today as they've always been. Steve and I would always say we know who we are and we know why we do what we do in Amway. And what a joy that is to be in a business that has that sort of a foundation. We know who we are, we know why we do what we do. Now, what we do and how we do things is always changing, and that's a good thing because the marketplace and the world around us is always changing. Sometimes we have to adapt to those storms that are coming our way, but other times, in a time like we have right now, we can take advantage of opportunities that are coming our way. And so the changes that we are going through are always a little bit of both, but mainly we're using technology in new ways, not only for the communicating, but in the operations of the business. so that you can maximize your opportunity and your productivity to move forward. And our focus has been now on customers. Of course, our focus has always been on customers. That's what Dad and Jay did at the very beginning. But now our ability to use technology to make that process much more productive, much more possible for you is absolutely vital for the business as we go forward. And that's why we're focusing so much time and attention to do it. And if there's any concern about why the company is thinking about this, be assured always of those foundations. When we are working with you to identify and track and do a much better job connecting with customers, we recognize they're your customers. They've always been your customers. What we want to do is make sure we can track and organize and gather data and information to help you serve them better. And as your leader, you can help those in your group serve their customers better. They're their customers. It's an interesting thing when we have so much angst about change, but yet we're talking about things that are so fundamental to the business. The founder's fundamentals, getting and keeping customers, getting and keeping new ABOs, new people in your group. Those are things that have been in this business since the very beginning. Our ability to do it and to do it well and to do it more productively is enhanced dramatically because of technology. And it is up to us together to find ways to maximize those opportunities. And again, we're doing it from a foundation that we all know, so that when the winds of change blow around us, like they did with Dad in that video, we know who we are, we know why we do what we do, and we know where we're going. We're going to a better future, and we're going there together. Take care, everyone. We'll look forward to talking to you soon.
What a great and powerful reminder of the role that partnership plays in our business. I've had the pleasure and opportunity to work at Amway for 18 years. And I also had the opportunity to always work at IBO-facing positions that have allowed me to get close and really work and learn from some of our most influential leaders around the world and build lasting and trusting relationship with them. Emulating and learning from Doug and so many leaders at Amway, we see how partnership has driven our business for more than 60 years. Understanding the role that our leaders play into that partnership and how that partnership, it is a two-way street where we both come together. We heard Melody and how she spoke about our vision to move to a bright future, to really take partnership to maximize our results. How do we do this? First, by being extremely transparent. You heard Melody and how that vision, we're going to lay it out for you today, providing clear expectations of how we see our market moving forward, together, in partnership with our leaders. Working with them, providing them our plans and our initiatives, our projects, our investments of how we're going to bring this big idea to life. So partnership has been the secret sauce of our business. It has set us apart in the direct selling industry. Now, the ABO leader plays a critical role in our success. How are we going to bring the voice of our leaders forward? We're going to do this in three ways. First, we're going to make sure that the voice of our leaders is heard by interacting and closely working directly with our leaders, making sure that we're touching at different levels, making sure that we're touching at different countries. I love the diversity and the multicultural diversity that all of our countries bring together. The unleashing our potential really comes to life when we work with all of our leaders and we engage with them in a way where we're working together to achieve the best results we can. The other way that we're going to do this is by our go-to-market strategies, which we're going to explain and break down for you in little chunks so that you can see all the parts that coming together create this great vision. A vision of bringing Europe and Southern Africa to be one of the top markets around the world for Amway and for the direct selling industry. We count with amazing leaders with which together we will build our vision for that A70 amazing future that we are building together. And I need to stress the part of building together. Now, how are we going to build this together, being so diverse and also having so many countries? We're going to create a pan-European ABO Council. We're going to be engaging with different leaders at different levels, and we're going to tap into the expertise and subject matter experts that we have in the field to really bring this out to life and work with them on these strategies, investments, and projects that will come together to create this great vision of a bright future for Europe and Southern Africa. So how do we bring this to life? First, we're going to create different councils, different committees with subject matter experts, like I mentioned. We're going to turn your passions and the expertise into our gain for your results and amazing performance. As we do this, we're going to stay in constant communication with our leaders, making sure that their voice is being heard, that our strategies are clear, and that we bring together, because partnership, as I said, is a two-way street. And for that to happen, we need to make sure that we are following the direction of Amway, globally, taking best practices and combining that with the expertise of our most successful leaders around and across all of Europe and Southern Africa. Now, for that, I would like to pass the meeting to our Digital and Marketing Chief Officer, Imran Saman, who's going to take how we're going to take ABO success through new initiatives for you.
Thank you very much, Ruben, for that overview about the importance of partnership. What I would like to share with you all is the focus of how to ensure that the ABO leader, which is yourself, is successful. Yes, we want to talk around partnership, but most important is that what is critical when we talk about the A70 journey that Melody referred to is ensuring that you as leaders are successful. What I'd like to describe a little bit is when we refer to A60 and A70, we talk about the journey in terms of the shape of the business. The most important thing that you can see from this slide is, yes, on the left-hand side is A60 in terms of last year. What you see on the right part of the circle is A70. And in both cases, what you see is it's all about how we want to ensure Amway is better and Amway is bigger. But what is critical is at the center in both of this is you as an ABO leader. Success can only happen as you become stronger in the way you are building your business, which obviously is around business builders, it's around new ABOs, but also customers. What I would like to do is help you also understand when we talk about customer that Doug referred to, Melody also, is what do we mean by actual customers in the context of the digital experience, but also the connection to you as an ABO leader. We are focused on two types of customer. There is one on the left-hand side that is referred to as guest, and I will talk more around this in a moment, but also a registered customer that is connected to you as ABOs. Now, when we refer to somebody as a guest, what we are focused here is somebody who is coming into Amway and just to make a single purchase one time. Whereas a registered customer is somebody we want connected to you because of the value you bring, is obviously receiving certain benefits through a loyalty program, but also a difference in price. But before I go in a little bit more detail about this guest customer in terms of the experience, I want to talk a little bit around why are we intentionally focusing around a guest customer. Now, a guest is something that exists outside Amway as a common practice. So we all go on different commerce platforms. You can log in through a registered details as a registered customer of a commerce player. Or you can just go in as a guest and do a one-time purchase. Even within Amway, we have this practice for many of years in a number of markets. But other than being a common practice, why is it critical? Well, from a user point of view, and when we mean user, when somebody comes onto our website, whether it's through a mobile device or through a desktop computer, what the user wants to have is a seamless experience, meaning to be able to go in, search around to shop and not have a break where in the process they have to go back at a later stage. So the user experience is critical, is something that we've done research on with customers and also ABOs just to understand what kind of experience is required. Thirdly, we also know that somebody may come on the website and say, I'm interested in a product. The commitment is the level of commitment just to make a purchase one time. They may not know at that time that they would like to become a registered customer, receive benefits, or even to have ongoing purchases with Amway because it's the first time they've connected with us. So focusing on the different level of commitment that you are well aware of yourselves in the offline community, you have the same experience of prospects making different levels of a commitment through the journey. Crucially, what we are also focusing on is by distinguishing very clearly of the value of being a registered customer is about the value that we bring across of the ABO leader. We demonstrate through the communication and the experience on the web platform that by connecting to an ABO who will bring that one-to-one relationship, but also providing benefits that you as a leader can provide to the customer. Finally, what's also important in terms of the guest is we have to ensure that from a regulatory point of view, that we ensure that we are compiling where we need to ensure that we are not putting our business, but also yourselves as leaders at any way risk. But let me just walk through the actual journey of a guest and of course a registered customer to help you understand a little bit of how this would work with the new web experience that we will launch later this year. What you see here, and let's just imagine that somebody has, through different ways of maybe searching through artistry product or looking for an energy drink as an example, arrives onto our website. So they're connected to Amway, the country website. They, let's say, are interested in an energy drink. They will come on the website, they start to shop around, and then they will add the product in the basket. At this moment in time, what they will experience is a very clear message coming across to them that, would you be interested in a discount on the product, which would be a price discount? Would you be interested in being connected to a ABO who will provide one-to-one consultation, one-to-one engagement? We'll also offer them to sign up into a loyalty program as a registered customer. We will ensure that the attractiveness is to sign up. If this person decides to sign up, they will then become a registered customer. And I will explain in a moment how that process would look like. But if they choose that at this moment in time, for this one purchase, I would like to not be registered, I would like to check out as a guest. We would allow them to do this one time. They would be able to make payment, select their delivery option, and then Amway would send the product direct to that guest customer. What is critical here is that, first of all, the guest customer pays a full selling retail price, which will be ABO price plus 25%. What in addition will happen is they will not receive benefits from Amway because they have not registered, so we don't have their data. And this is a critical piece, that if this guest checks out, makes the purchase, receives the product, and would like to connect with Amway, maybe come again on the website to make another purchase, we would not recognize that this guest had been an individual who had been on the platform previously. They would have to go through the same process again and also be registering. What we do know from the Amway markets that have the guest is that it's less than 1% of the total sales. And we've got very little feedback in terms of negativity coming from those leaders and the markets. In some cases, it's been around for nearly 20 years. In addition to this experience, what's critical is that any income, which is, first of all, the guest has paid a retail price, so there is a retail markup, there is a point value, but also a bonus BV contribution. What Amway will do is we will not hold on to any of that money. We will twice a year transfer any guest income, which is the retail markup, the points, and the BV. We will pool that and we will share that to a selected criteria of ABOs. So the most important part is we are just allowing the process and an experience for somebody to come on to our website and order a product once. But let's say they chose to register, and how would that look like? So at the moment, when they are going through this process, they decide that, yes, I would like to register. What is the attractiveness to that? What you see here is on this slide is, at the point of registration, we will talk about is you are registered to be a customer that is connected to an ABO. But we will also ensure that you are part of our loyalty program. Now that loyalty program will have a set of benefits that you as an ABO leader can communicate and will be able to provide through Amway. Those examples can be, first of all, by registering immediately now, you receive a price discount. So instead of paying full retail price, you will only pay ABO price plus 10%. This will be a 15% discount for that individual purchase compared to full retail price. Then we'll provide some promotional offers. We can obviously provide coupons for the customer, for example, to refer another customer to be connected to you as an ABO leader. And they can use such coupons maybe at a future purchase. We'll obviously ensure we have the data so we can ensure that you as a leader with your customers, you can inform them and connect with them through regular communication, share them, for example, anniversary information like it's your birthday and here is a promotion to celebrate your birthday as an example. Or maybe you've been with Amway as a registered customer with yourself as a leader for 12 months, let's celebrate that with an offer. As a registered customer with an ABO, that connection is between you as a leader and that customer. And that is obviously connected by you continuously providing value to that registered customer. What we are here in the end of doing is we are empowering you as our leaders. We're empowering you to manage that community of customers. We're obviously also ensuring that the technology through the website and mobile applications will provide ways for you to save time, to allow a customer to come on the website as a registered customer, continuously purchase on a regular basis. It will free you up to focus on your leaders in your group and continuously build that business from strength to strength. But we also would like to ensure that you are rewarded for this. And in terms of rewards, what I like to do is now hand over to Ruben, who will explain a little bit more details about that.
Thank you. Really excited about the topics that I am about to cover. Earlier, we spoke about partnership, a topic that we're all very passionate about. And when we talk about partnership, we need to talk about transparency, we need to talk about trust. And what we're going to do today is a great example of that. We're addressing, first we addressed our diamonds and our emeralds 2 days ago. We spoke with them first. Now we're moving on, and we're doing something that we have not done in the past. We are reaching out to silvers and above. We consider all of you leaders. We want to engage directly with you and have a transparent and forthcoming conversation about the future and how we are going to unleash our potential. So I'm going to speak about some of the changes that we're going to be implemented. We're going to also speak about some of the improvements and enhancements and additions that we're going to do to really accelerate and help your success, enable and rewarding ABO leaders for success. So first, I'm very excited to first talk about Core Plus. And I know that you have been hearing about Core Plus for quite a while now. And I feel very passionate about this because throughout my years, I've seen things that work really well, things that could be better aligned with Amway, with our leaders. And in this period of partnership, I think that having that candid conversation, addressing the elephant in the room and saying, hey, we can be better at doing this, or we can be better at doing that. And we heard Melody earlier at the meeting provide some examples of that. She provided examples of how internally we at Amway, our team, our staff, can start to do certain things better. We are also going to talk about what are we doing to position ABOs for success and how leaders can improve their businesses in some specific areas. So let's start with Core Plus. Again, I'm very excited to make this announcement. Core Plus is one of those big alignments that I was mentioning. It is bringing best practices from around the world and throughout all the decades. We look at the data, we look at all the information that we have of what make our businesses the most successful. Let's say that we're studying the healthy and bringing those healthy practices all bundled up into Core Plus. Now we're going to take a staggered approach at how we're going to implement Core Plus for Europe and Southern Africa. Why do I say a staggered approach? Because we're going to be introducing two of the most successful and rewarding and attractive profitable programs from Core Plus and bringing them to you, to all of Europe. All of you will be able to enjoy this starting September of 2020. So I want to cover this. You see here on the screen that we have a transition. First, we have EP payments going from 1 to EP1, EP3. Then they go away when we get bronze, which is to be determined the date. We also have EP4s and EP6 all the way out to August of 2021. And rolling Q12 is through also August of 2021. Now, let's move on to the two very exciting programs that all of you will be able to enjoy starting September of 2020. And let's start with a very exciting one. And this one, we were not scheduled to bring it until September of 2021, but we are putting our money where our mouth is. We have been talking about improving ABO profitability, and we're doing just that. Melody, Imran, the whole team, we were able to get this 1 full year ahead for you, starting September of 21. And this is a program called Performance Plus and Performance Elite, which rewards all ABOs, the whole audience that is here with us today, silvers and above, the moment that they hit 10,001 PV. And it's rewarding Ruby. I would like to clarify, because every time I have met with leaders in Europe and we talk about Ruby, people right away go and think about 20,000 PVs. Performance Plus and Performance Elite rewards Ruby. What is Ruby? Ruby is any volume that comes outside of qualified legs. So if you're a new silver and you don't have any qualified legs, all of your volume is Ruby volume. The moment that you qualify one leg, then the volume that's outside, all this, the front lines, and the volume generated from that side of your business, that is Ruby volume. So starting September of 2020, in a few months, you will be able to enjoy an additional 2% of BV on your total Ruby volume. So this means all of the customer volume that you get, all of your group volume that is outside of qualified legs. So when you hit 10,001, you get that additional 2%. Why do I stress 10,001? Because top up is not part of this program. You cannot use top up to be eligible for this. Now, you're also able to enjoy an additional 2% when you get to 15,000 PVs, starting September of 2020. Why do we reward Ruby? And why are we talking about Ruby? I always heard ABO leaders say Ruby is good. Why is it good? It's a best practice. It means that you're growing your side volume and your front lines outside of your qualified legs, which allows you to maximize on this incentive, but also ensures that you enjoy a leadership bonus at its full potential, 6%. So anytime that you achieve this, not only are you getting this Performance Plus and Performance Elite, you also get to enjoy full leadership bonus with every month that you qualify. I would also like to call the attention that before, when Ruby was just 20,000 PVs, you needed to qualify at a platinum level before you enjoy the benefits of this program. But now, with Performance Plus and Elite, starting in September, you get to enjoy this every single month that you qualify and that you go over 10,001 PV. Very exciting new program starting September of 2020 for all of our silvers and above. Now, we are very excited to share this with you. Let's go on to a second program that's also starting for everyone in Europe, September of 2020. And that is our 2-time cash incentives. What is the criteria to qualify for this incentive? First, you need to qualify at a brand new level. Now, there's a second payment that kicks in the moment that you requalify at that level. Starting September of 2020, you are eligible for a first and a second payment by requalifying exactly the following year. Now, we have been talking a lot about profitability, and I want to call out attention that we are paying the heavier, the most attractive of the two payments on the second year. Why? Because we want to influence requalification rates. All of you are leaders, and I said that we were going to have a real clear and transparent conversation. When I say that we have areas of improvements, I want to talk to you about the requalification rates for our region. We're talking about new platinums here. Our current requalification rate is 43%, which means that for every 10 new qualifiers, only 4.3% are qualifying. Now, if we can improve our requalification rates for our platinums, that means that we're keeping more of our leaders and that we're starting a great momentum that's going to drive your business to the next level and ultimately position our region as one of the top regions for Amway and the direct selling industry. Now, we have all these payments. We spoke about Performance Plus and Elite, and the reason why we're bringing these two forward first is because these have proven results, and this is immediate money that you get on top of the current GIP. So a lot more opportunity to increase income. We also see that when we increase income, we impact in a positive way our requalification rates. So I want all of us to start thinking and to pay attention to the income that our new leaders are making all the way out to our higher levels, and then the requalification rates in which these new trackers and qualifiers are achieving this new level of success. So two new brand new payments starting September of 2020. two first Core Plus programs that we introduced and that everybody gets to enjoy starting September of 2020. So now let's move on to our next slide. And I wanted to start drawing out the timeline for Core Plus. As you can see on the screen, we're going to have CSI. This will start with our pilot country, Italy. We're very excited about Italy being the first country where we are going to introduce our customer sales incentive bonuses. This is early incentives of the Core Plus coming into you as well this year for Italy, starting in December. So in addition to that, we have Bronze, which will come a few months later as well for Italy. And this will transition some of the EP payments that I mentioned earlier in my presentation. So we have the timing now for CSI in Italy, and CSI stands for Customers Sales Incentive. And then we have the program for Bronze, which is the first program that starts to reward structure within Core Plus, allowing you to have that balance between width and depth and maximizing on income and also maximizing your chances of requalifying at higher rates. Now, let's move on to our next slide. We're looking here at very good examples of how we're going to provide clear expectations for this upcoming year. So, current GIP, you have the opportunity to still maximize and optimize on the income that you can get from the current growth incentive that you know and love, while we are adding components of Core Plus to further enhance your profitability for this year. So if we look at the timeline here, we see that starting September, just to summarize, starting September, we get 2 brand new programs from Core Plus. 2-time cash incentives, qualify at a brand new level, and then requalify the following year, having the heavier of the 2 payments on the second year. Then we're targeting customer sales incentive starting December for Italy, and then we will move on to Bronze a few months later at a specific date to be confirmed. And then on September of 2021, we will add some of the other leader incentives for Core Plus, starting with your front group program and your front line queue program as well for Core Plus. These will be additions. This is the timeline. You know now how it works. We also have on the screen the EP payments that are going to be replaced for some of these Core Plus programs. You see that EP 1 to 3 is going to be replaced by Bronze in 2021 for Italy, which is getting this. And then the EP payments 4 to 6 stay in place until August of 2021. A reminder that rolling 12 Qs applies all the way out through August of 2021 as well. Now, let's move on to our next slide, and I'm going to get here into a lot more detail. I spoke about profitability, I think, at every single meeting that I have had with you. We know that ABO success is key to our success. We only succeed when our leaders succeed. And I love that about Amway. It really draws out on the partnership that we have built over decades. And this is what sets us apart in the direct selling industry. Now, I spoke about some of the areas of improvements that we have. And as I mentioned, profitability is one of those. And I want to set out examples, very simple examples of how we can improve profitability for our ABOs. I'm going to have 4 examples here of leaders at the same bracket or leaders at the same level. Now, I want to call out that while they are the same pin or they are at the same bracket, these businesses are not the same. These businesses do not perform at the same pace. These different leaders do not requalify at the same rates. We have studied this over decades. There's an ideal structure that maximizes payments and also maximizes your chances for future success. There is an ideal structure that also ensures that because of the duplication effort, the leadership that you have, and because we know that your group learns from you, it's going to have a domino effect all throughout your organization. Now, I'm going to set examples of the leaders on the left and then these leaders on the right. I'm going to say ahead of time that I would like to all of us be on the leader on the right. And while they are at the same level, we can clearly see that they do not have the same income. ABOs are entrepreneurial. They come here to own their businesses, have great success, and lead others into having that success. I would say that the leader on the left, let's use the analogy of an athlete, of a running athlete. I would say that the leader on the left is a sprinter, a leader that runs, let's say, 100-meter sprint. They are very fast. They explode with energy. They qualify and they get to the finish line. But when they get there, they don't get there with the same stamina to keep on going. I would say, bringing back the example to our business, when these leaders, the ones on the left with a very shallow and just a lot of depth, they don't have the stamina or the income to continue to move on into future levels. They have lower rates of requalification. They are not built to last the way that the businesses on the right, on my 4 examples, are built. These are businesses that are built for endurance. These are businesses that are built to withstand the test of time. I'll call out that the biggest difference here is they are both enjoying core plan income, but one is already tapping into income that comes from LD payments. The width, the differential, the income that comes from the sales and marketing plan is setting out the difference by having a good balance between width and depth. And I want to also call out that while we have a few circles, these circles have people under them. This does not mean that this one circle has all the volume to be at 9% or the volume to be at 12%. But one is building a lot of depth. The other one, the one on the right, has width and has depth that is equally balanced and is allowing them to maximize on sales plan income as well as growth incentive income and future core plus income. If I had to choose between the two businesses, I would rather be on the right. These are the marathon runners. These are the ones who get all the way out to the race. They have the mental, the emotional, and physical stamina to withstand a long race. I keep hearing from leaders all around the world that I came for this business, to really be and doing this for the rest of my life. We want to make sure that you have the best success. So we're going to bring these examples and these best practices so that you can make good choices. We always recommend that you talk to your leaders. What I'm sharing here today is merely quantitative data. There's a qualitative part of this that we want to ensure that all of you have and can enjoy. So I would like to now move on to the next example that I have. And this example is a Founders Platinum. We will see that both businesses have qualified at the Founders Platinum level. We can see right away, same patterns. The one on the left, very narrow, going in depth, no width. It's not maximizing the potential that comes from differential, the potential that now in this case, they are both being able to tap into the performance plus bonus that we are starting to introduce as of September of 2020. So they are both at 10,001, so they're both producing the same amount of volume. Now, what makes the difference between one of the businesses making 1,072 euros per month and then the other one making 3 times that at 3,428? I will call it out. If you can see here, one is enjoying LD payments, which the other one is not. And of course, the differential that comes from the width, that the one on the left does not have is much greater. Other than that, these two businesses are very alike, but they highlight the difference between having width and building that Ruby volume and just having depth. I would like to call out as well that when we look at annual income, we see here a difference, very marked difference, one at 18,000, almost 19,000 euros a year, and the other one making 40,000 euros a year. So if I had to make a choice between of the two, and I know the result that one structure brings over the other, I would choose to be on the right, and I would love to be also on the right. Something else that this business has is that if a leg were to qualify, they will still have enough volume to qualify for some leadership bonus. Now, let's move on to my third example. And again, we have two founders platinums. They both have the same amount of volume. We have one with 15,000. We have now one with 20,000. We know that the one on the left is making the most out of the Core Plus program that we just introduced in the form of Performance Plus and Elite, 15,000. So they're getting an additional 2% at 10,001 and an additional 2% at 15,000. We see that they both have Core Plan, LD payments. They have Core Plus and Performance. One has Performance Plus and Performance Elite. The other one has Performance Plus, Performance Elite, and full Ruby volume at 6%. They are both getting the 2-time cash incentives for requalifying at the second year. But let's look at their income. One is making 4,000 euros a month, while the other one is making 5,800 euros a month. When we look at their annual income, we see that one is making 61,000 euros, while the other one is making 76,000 euros. I would like to call out again the difference that both businesses have, that if one leg was to qualify, they will still have enough side volume on the side to make a good income. Now, let's go out to my final example on income and profitability. We have two diamonds here. They both have 6 legs. They both have 3 legs with 6 Qs and 3 founders legs. The difference here, while income is a big, very differentiated mark, we have that one has high volume. Still, while they have qualified legs, they continue to pay attention to feeding in front lines, having some Ruby volume on the side. They are both, one is doing just 200 personal PV, the other one is doing 10,001. So we have almost a 3,000 euro difference on the monthly income. That's a lot of money in 1 month. And it adds up at every month. But then we see that the annual income for the one on the left is 129. The one on the right is 167,000 euros. I can tell you that these are both diamonds. They have the same pin, but they are not the same businesses. I will bet that the diamond on the right is very confident about their requalification rates for next year. It's very confident that their legs are making good money and are going to requalify. It's very confident that those legs are going to build into founders' legs and move on to provide a higher performance to their businesses. Through Leader Growth Solutions, we're going to be sharing a lot of these income modeling scenarios for you to make the best decisions that you can make for your businesses. So I hope that I have been able to provide some clarity as to why Amway has taken a strategic direction to align all their bonuses through Core Plus and now and some of the GIP that we have to really take our business to the next level, to reward our ABOs for being profitable and having healthy businesses that sustain the test of time and qualify year over year. So very clear examples, more to come. We will dive deeper into this at future meetings and at one-on-one consultations with you. Now, I would like to move to the second part of my presentation. And when we think about changes in the future, we need to think about our non-cash awards. We need to think about how we're changing, how we're evolving, and how we're getting our businesses to transform. I mentioned earlier how some changes are coming. We understand that change takes time. So some of our changes are immediate, and we find that these immediate changes are positive, such as bringing in Performance Plus and Elite a full year ahead of time. And another change that I'm going to mention before I finish this part of my presentation. So I would like to go on to the next slide so we can talk about our NCA criteria. This is something that called out my attention as soon as I started working for Europe. When we look around the world, we see that in order for you to attend our leadership training seminar around the world, people have to qualify 12 months. We have a different criteria to qualify in Europe, which we're going to change in a 4-year time frame. We know that it takes time. We know that we're injecting new and good, attractive money to help you transition through this change and be successful. So how are we going to change the criteria to attend LTS, our leadership training seminar? So pretty much no changes for this year, with the addition of 30,000 Ruby PV, which in a way, all of you who are right now attending are meeting that criteria already. We are putting that number there to call your attention that, yes, we're going to be rewarding and recognizing Ruby volume. We know the positive impact that it has. So next year, you can qualify with, if you're doing it for the first time, with 8 months. The second year that you qualify, you will need 10. So we will be adding 2 months, two Q months every year until from now to 4 years from now, we have 4-year transition to have 12 months qualification. You will need a 12-month qualification from here on to there. So next year, if you're going for the first time, you only need 8 months. The following year, performance year 22, you're going to need 10 months if this is your second time, and there is no longer on 2022 the possibility to go for the first time with that 8 months. And we are adding a Ruby requirement of 80,000 Ruby PV. I will remind everyone what Ruby PV is. It's any volume outside your qualified legs, new or old. So we're not saying that you need a new 80,000 PVs, but just have 80,000 PVs outside of your qualified legs. Now, for 2023, now we go in and we require a full 12 months qualification like we do all around the world. A question that has been coming up a lot is, so what's going to happen with the current LTS? And that is, we are keeping the safety of our ABOs and our staff at top of mind. We have tried to make this trip happen. We've been looking for ways to have it, but unfortunately, we would have to cancel our trip to Dubai for this year. All the trackers that are qualifying for this year leadership training seminar are going to receive an emergency cancellation payment, which is very different from a cash in lieu payment. We are going to pay this out to all qualifiers, and we're going to move Dubai for next year. Now, if you want to attend next year, you will have to start qualification again in September of 2020 to be eligible. Another change that we are applying to the leadership training seminar is that today you can qualify as a brand new platinum or as a comeback platinum. So that change will no longer be available. That was a temporary program, and that's how we're going to move forward with our leadership training program. Now, we are adding one more change, and that's to our European Diamond Conference. We see, and we have spoken already about profitability, we have spoken about the health and the strength of our businesses. We see that Founders Emeralds, and this program is for new Founders Emeralds. We're going to have a 2-year transition bridge for new Founders Emeralds to attend Diamond Club. How will this work? If you qualify as a brand new Founders Emerald for this upcoming year, you will be eligible to attend a 2-year program for Diamond Club. The first year, if you requalify as a Founders Emerald, you get to attend a second time. These 2 years will serve for you to qualify Diamond. If after the second year you do not requalify, then you fall out of the program to attend Diamond Club. We think that this is a great addition. And you would ask, why brand new Founders Emeralds? We see that brand new Founders Emeralds, when they qualify as new diamonds, they qualify with stronger businesses, higher profitability, and higher requalification rates than those diamonds who qualify for the first time with 6 legs with only 6 Qs. We also see that those new Founders Emeralds help their uplines qualify for global award recognition at higher rates because they have those Founders legs. So a brand new addition. These are changes for NCAs. I know that I share a lot with you, so be sure to go back to your account manager to get a lot more details. We're happy to share one of these income modeling with you, share some of these changes to our non-cash incentives. And I would like to pass it back to Imran, who's going to continue to talk about how we enable our leaders for success through customers, through products, and innovation.
Ruben, for that presentation on the rewards. Let me just move on and focus around in terms of when we talked about leader success, we want to ensure that we can enable that leader success for yourselves. And what kind of tools are we putting in place to ensure that you and your leaders can obviously ensure that you can grow your business successfully? 2 areas that I want to talk about, which are obviously quite passionate for myself, is product and then digital. And I want to share 2 of those key components in terms of the role we will play, not just now, but also the journey we'll share during this A70, but specifically focusing on the couple of years ahead. So when we talk about product, what you can see on this next slide is that you've heard many times we talk about helping people live better, but also healthier lives. And of course, we will continue to focus on our core brands of nutrition, beauty, home. But when we focus around healthy value proposition, we are also exploring and investing in the innovation of adjacent spaces. What that means is what kind of products, new ventures, maybe services can actually help us to support both Nutrilite, artistry and beauty, and then of course our home and our home tech product brands. Now the investment in the innovation is happening from a long-term perspective to ensure our portfolio stays very compelling and also relevant. Relevant, first of all, to your needs, but also to the needs in the marketplace for the customers. Now, what's also crucial is when we talk about the investment in the innovation is how we can provide support for yourself, but your role as a leader. Let's take an example. Each one of us has a passion. That passion can be, for example, in fitness, in cooking. So for me personally, it's a passion in fitness. Now, how can I connect this passion and yourself as a leader to obviously a community? Those community are your friends, your family, and maybe potential other individuals that you have part of your offline community or even through your social platforms. So you're connecting your passion to that community. But then what you are able to do is introduce the right products connected to that passion. But that product can be a solution, but also a experience that you can bring to life to that community. By ensuring that that community is fueled with the right products around the whole essence of living a healthier life, what you do is you drive obviously interest to those community members to maybe become product buyers, but also product users. They will become ambassadors and advocates like yourself. And then that can obviously be transferred into a registered customer, and then obviously at a certain point of time, if they feel they would like to earn a supplement income, start a full-time business, there is a potential for them to become an ABO. So when we are investing in the product, it's in the right services, the right experiences around this to support those passions and those communities. And we feel here in Europe and Southern Africa, we really want to win in Nutrilite, want to focus on nutrition, we want to remain competitive in beauty and in home. Now, winning in nutrition means that with the legacy of not just Amway, but with the Nutrilite brand that is over 85 years old, we have a very strong story that is connecting the seed to supplement and the legacy of Amway. We are looking to transfer that across, for example, into beauty with artistry, so therefore it could be seed to skin. And that is really what we refer to as in the innovation area of conversions. How can we convert maybe raw ingredients that come from our farms in Nutrilite and bring that across our portfolio? But the essence is still about ensuring that people live a better but also a healthier life. But to give a better example, I will share a video now just to put a little bit of more essence to what I've just described. So you see the investment and the innovation in terms of driving towards that A70 strategy and product. But another key component is obviously how we are not just leveraging, but accelerating technology in the way obviously we operate a business. Now we're looking at that internally, but for you as a leader, how can we ensure technology supports you with our digital transformation? What you see on this next slide is that the investments that we have started to do, but also we have learned in this journey ourselves. Over the last few years, we have significantly invested in our web experience with the new website. That obviously started a few years ago, and with this first market launch in Scandinavia, we had a disaster. But from that disaster, we partnered together on this to understand how can we make sure the future investment can be very positive. And part of that was to partner together in the engagement and in the learning and the testing of our platforms. Recently this year, early in this year, we launched obviously the next version of our website in Iberia, Netherlands and Belgium. What we found from that experience is a much more stable but also a positive experience for our ABO leaders. What we want to do is that we want to continue the rollout and the investment in the web platform, but we are looking at ways of how we can accelerate this plan. We will obviously launch with Italy later this year, and then we will roll out the rest of Europe into 2021. But it's not just about a website that is, let's say, available on a desktop PC or what we say is mobile first on any mobile device. We're also focusing on investing in the right mobile application tools. So today we have a portfolio of mobile apps available. As an example, the SSD app or the business resource app. What we want to focus on is enhancing our existing mobile applications, but also introduce new mobile applications. For example, what if we were able to provide a tool for yourselves that allows customers to order directly through a mobile device? That allows you to be empowered as a leader. It allows you to save time where your sales can focus continuously on building the business, whilst the customer, which is registered to you, is obviously engaging through ongoing purchases with Amway. Furthermore, we're also focusing on investment in content. Content, for example, that we can put through the social platforms that we have in Amway that speak to yourself, but also share content for yourselves to share for your own platforms. You have, over the last few months and obviously the past years, demonstrated how you're leveraging social platforms to communicate with your groups, communicate with your community of customers and friends and family. But also the opportunity lies for you to also create content as an individual that then is obviously sharing that content both through your groups, but also equipping us in Amway to allow us to share that content as well. So we'll focus on that continuous digital transformation with the right technology, capabilities, the right tools, and the right content. But also what's important is how we need to continue to support you. And I'll just hand over to Ruben, who'll talk a little bit more in terms of the role of the Leader Growth Solution team, your account managers.
Thank you, Imran. And this is a topic that is very, very dear and close to me. I spoke earlier about partnership and the role that the leaders play. You're in business for yourself, but never, never by yourself. When we think about our partnership, the heritage, the experience that comes from your uplines and your line of sponsorship, that is an amazing organization that's there to support you. On the other side, holding your other hand, it's Amway. And this is the role that sales plays. You may have heard the team Leader Growth Solutions in the past, and I need to be very transparent here. All the time I get asked, Ruben, what's Leader Growth Solutions? And in the past, our sales team has been called key account managers. They have been called sales relationships. They have been called different things over the years. But in the spirit of continued improvement, I must say that I have seen the evolution. And I remember talking to Doug DeVos one day, and he was telling me, Ruben, we need to up our game. We need to be there for our leaders, and we need to enable, and our account managers need to become business consultants. Why a business consultant? We need to become so knowledgeable about your business that we can add value to it, that we can come into a consultation and show you and share things that you yet don't know about your business. Data, best practices that we take from all around the world to put them in front of you and bundle and tailor solutions to your specific business needs. So I would like to share with you what LGS or Leader Growth Solutions is and what is not, so that we have clear expectations about how this partnership can bring great and outstanding results when we work together. Reminding that partnership is key to our success, building trust. And now you heard about Imran, you heard about John, Doug, Melody today, about all the initiatives and investments, and it's a lot to take. Now, how do we bundle that in the right amount for your business to meet your needs in a tailored, customized format? It's through Leader Growth Solutions. So let's go first with the things that Leader Growth Solutions, it's not. And it's not a reactive tactical support. It's not, calling at end of month to help or fix something. We are proactive. We are helping you build a business that, hopefully you get to qualify your legs really early. We help you drive that Ruby volume that we heard so many things about and that we know helps you create more profitable businesses. So we're also not a one-size-fits-all. You have a specific needs for your business. We can't compare one business to another. I just said a few examples of businesses at the same level that were performing very differently. How do we address that difference and help you build the best business you can by providing you the information you need to make informed decisions. Now, we will always do this in the spirit of partnership, working with your leaders, working with you directly as well, and building these solutions that I spoke about. So we heard Imran talk about customers, about selling, about innovation. How do we bundle that in a way that really meets your needs? What is the right amount? We have seen businesses who are great at selling, but maybe not so great at online platforms or sharing and prospecting. So how do we come in and really provide that specific help that you need? So there's always in partnership with your line of sponsorship, with your leaders, we work together. Now, what does Leader Growth Solutions bring to the table? It brings deep understanding of your business. And I tell all of our account managers, because they play such a critical role for you, they can bring so much value. They are our internal heroes and the first phase and interaction that you have with Amway staff. So they will study your businesses, as I said, they'll break that down to the last detail so they can sit down with you and show you about areas and data that you can then take and leverage to build your businesses to the profitability and high performance that you want it to be. We are proactive. We reach out, we start partnering early in your career, we start developing those relationships, and we are a consultative partner that brings those data and insights to build those very needed action plans to bring the success that we want for all of our businesses. It is a tailored approach. We make tailored solutions, we study your business, we sit down with you, and we come to an agreed upon action plan to address those specific needs and key performance indicators that you want to specifically improve on. And what else? We partner in developing those action plans. We make sure that you have the right action plan, that this is in line with your upline, and that you are really addressing the things or performance indicators in your businesses that are slowing you down from reaching that success. So we are aligned on our goals and our measures. And when we think about everything that we shared with you today, everything that we're doing, that great vision, we bring it all together, we align it, we package it in a way that is very, very fitted to your specific needs. So when we think about this great vision that we have laid out for you here today, all the different components that are going to bring the success, I see an untapped potential for Europe and Southern Africa, and I am so excited for the future ahead of us. So as we tailor all of this and we enable our partnership and we take it to the next level through Leader Growth Solutions, also bundling all of our other areas of marketing, supply chain, customer service, so that we can address the specific needs, and I keep addressing this, specific needs of your business to build a bright future ahead. So bringing all of these components together, I would like to pass the meeting back to Melody for some thoughts as we move forward with the meeting and then to our Q&A.
Thank you, Ruben. And thank you, Imran, for presenting and giving us, a view of what's to come, how we plan to support our ABOs through new platforms, such as our new e-commerce platform, new products, and of course, Core Plus. Very exciting outlook for us here in Europe and Southern Africa. This is also a global transformation, and clearly we're all in different states of the journey, right? We can't compare ourselves to China or the US or our Asia markets, but I truly believe in my heart that we have everything we need to transform and become one of the highest performing regions in the Amway world and community. It will require all of us to demonstrate growth mindset, showing that we're able to continually grow through learning, that we're willing to take some chances that sometimes may fail, but what's important is that we learn from those experiences and that we together build a stronger future together. I want to take a moment to reflect on, two quotes from our founders. I will start with Jay Van Andel, who once said, and this is one of my favorite quotes from Jay, Amway is a successful company because it does keep the best of the past, but changes with the times. That is what we are doing right now, building on the best parts of our business, but adopting some of the most successful strategies of today's business environment to ensure we remain relevant, attractive to customers and new ABOs, while remaining attractive for the business leaders who have worked with us all throughout these years. I want to make an emphasis and a very important concept, and one that we've talked about a lot today, the role of the new ABO in our successful journey toward A70. They are key to the success of our strategy, and that starts with helping them attract and retain customers. As Rich and Jay said, customers are the first necessity for our business, because without customers, business ceases to exist. Attracting communities of customers will help new ABOs earn more income so that they can stick around our business long enough to enjoy the fruits of building their organization. Increasing ABO retention and increasing overall product volume through customer sales will result in greater profitability for you, our leaders. It is that simple. The changes we propose require willingness to change by all of us. Change is difficult, but necessary. So we invite you to join us in this journey to unleash our full potential. We're now going to go to our Q&A based on the questions you have been submitting during our presentation. Bill Porter, head of our communications team here in Europe and Southern Africa, will be posing some of the questions to our presenters. Thank you. Back to you, Bill.
So we are going to get to as many questions as we can over the next 29 minutes. So no hesitation here. I'm going to jump right in. The very first question is going to go to you, Melody. And the question is, A70 is exciting, but it's a long way away. What is coming to support us now?
Well, we shared a lot of information today. I think that the first step in our journey toward A70 clearly anchors on us focusing on improving the pain points that we have in our business so that we have a foundation that helps us achieve quick results with agility that supports your business. And we have already started taking a very strategic look at some of those areas around how we support you in acquiring and retaining customers that Imran spoke of. We are also investing significantly into our digital infrastructure, and Imran touched on this today, and we will be sharing much more information with you later on next month, where we dive into these areas such as digital transformation, product innovation, and compensation that Ruben just touched on around Core Plus, how it's designed to support your business and really not just support your business in the short term, but long term. So I would say in the immediate future, we're looking at 3 critical areas, starting with compensation and how our compensation is designed to support and reward leaders for the right behavior, starting with new ABO success and a very big focus on customer acquisition and retention. The second area that will lead us on our journey toward A70 is obviously having the digital infrastructure that will help you attract customers, engage with customers as you're building your communities online and offline. And the third area is how do we help you really build communities around your passion, health and well-being, and having the products to support you and bringing customers to enjoy what we have to offer again and again. So I would say right now, we have a journey in front of us, but very exciting change coming to us in the short term that will lead us toward A70.
much, Melody. It looks like there's some awesome things coming on the horizon, some things for us to look forward to, as well as more details coming in the August meeting. And one of the pillars that you clearly mentioned that was a focus for us is compensation. So this next question is going to go to Ruben because it's about Core Plus. So Ruben, the question is, the audience here said they're very excited about Core Plus, but it's not coming to my market until next year. What can I do now to get ready?
That is a great question. And I mentioned earlier that we took a staggered approach to Core Plus. We have learned and studied from other launches around the world. And first, we know how much time it takes to change. So what we brought in are immediate changes of two of the most successful programs that start benefiting Silvers and above, which is our audience today. And those are Performance Plus and Performance Elite, two great programs that people can start enjoying while they can still have and benefit their current growth incentive program. If you ask then, what can I do right now in order to get ready for the other programs? Then I would start saying that you need to do three things. First, start growing your customer base. Start growing customers so that when you get the customer module, you can start registering ABOs, customers, and you can start then getting CSI throughout your organization. Let's keep in mind that while that is a bonus for a level entry ABO, those PV add up and build a stronger foundation of people who are coming in. Something we see about CSI is that those new ABOs who participate and get that income, they qualify at higher rates, therefore improving the overall foundation of your organization. So customers. Second thing that you can do is start growing your side, your Ruby volume, so that you can start enjoying on the awards that come from Performance Plus and Elite. So I mentioned three things: customers, Ruby, and very importantly, then starting to emulate and teach and train your groups to understand and transition into the Core Plus, which we get a full year to learn how the mechanics work for each and every one of the programs. So we get the gift of time while you can work and improve on your customer base and growing your Ruby volume. These are going to be three aspects that you can work on right now. And remember, everybody this year is getting Performance Plus, Performance Elite, and 2-time cash incentives, which are two great programs while you get ready for next year.
Great. Thank you very much, Ruben. So 3 clear takeaways: customers, Ruby volume, and educating and informing our team. So I think some very clear actions for this audience. This next question is going to go over to Imran. And Imran, this one really is looking to get some more information about being a guest customer. And unfortunately, that's where we ran into some audio issues. So if you could kind of give an overview of what we mean by guest customer and how that impacts and supports our ABOs.
Thank you, Bill. So earlier on, I mentioned that there are 2 types of customers. And one specifically was known as a registered customer that is connected to an ABO. But I'll focus now on guest customer. And guest customer basically means, and I'll just briefly share the example I was trying to articulate, was somebody who comes onto our website is only looking to make a single purchase of a product. When they go through the website experience, they will be asked to register. If they choose to register and are shared the benefits of connecting to an ABO, paying a lower price, and are receiving benefits, they'll register as a registered customer. But if they don't want to commit that I only am interested to make this one purchase this time only, then what we will allow is that purchase to happen, which basically means I, as a guest, could come onto my website, go to the shopping basket, place an order, and I will be paying that product at full retail price. I receive no other benefits. I will have to pay for shipping and then make the payments, and then the product will be received to my home. From an Amway perspective, we have no data because this individual did not register and chose not to register with us. If that guest is more a guest login, if he or she chooses to come back to our website for another product, we will not know that this is a returning guest. They will have to go through the same process, and when they get to the shopping basket, they will again be notified that they would like to be a registered customer. What we do know is this: a guest customer will always have to pay a full retail price, whereas a registered customer will pay an ABO price plus 10%. But of course, the income that is generated through any non-registered customer sale, so a guest customer generates retail markup for Amway, generates points, and of course the BV bonus associated. We as Amway will not keep this. We will manage a process with a selected criteria of ABOs where this income will be shared accordingly with the leaders yourself. The other critical thing is guest as a experience does exist in a number of Amway markets today, actually almost for 20 years in some markets, and it is almost significantly less than 1% of the total sales that are coming through that. But what we also know is if somebody does not register first time and is actually coming again we would not know. What we do see is that around 70% of those guests actually do want to register and will go through the registration process and be connected to an ABO. So I think that's the most positive approach we are taking, is not to lose these contacts, share these contacts with yourselves as leaders in terms of they go through the registration process. So hopefully that helps a little bit. There will be obviously more content in the actual recording and the presentation that will be shared of more details around guest and registered customer.
Excellent, Imran. Thank you for that clarification. It's an important distinction that we want to make sure this audience understands. Our next question is going to be for Ruben, and it's a follow-up to Core Plus. And the question from the audience is, why are there differences between the Core Plus programs in Western, Eastern Europe, and Southern Africa?
Thank you for that question. We shared today the amounts for two-time cash incentives, and those are the amounts for Western Europe. Now, you asked why the change. And the truth is that we accommodate and we are flexible in some of the markets. In order for us to be successful and be competitive, we adjust our pricing. We also adjust our ratios, our effort index. And if we are adjusting or lowering our prices and the effort index to qualify for a queue, which also impact the cost of a queue to qualify, then the bonuses also need to be adjusted. We strive to be competitive at each and every market, offering a opportunity that is attractive, rewarding, and very profitable for the market. So that comes from the difference. If you look at Western markets, they have a higher effort and PV ratio and costs are higher, so they get a little higher payment. It's all based on effort and the work that it takes to qualify.
Thank you, Ruben. All right, so we are going to go to Imran with this next question, and this next question is on product innovation. And Imran, you briefly touched on product innovation, but are there any specifics that you can share about new products?
Yes, so in terms of product innovation, I talked more on a strategic level where we wanted to, for example, invest in Neutralite and say, how can we win in this space around the whole healthy lifestyle? Let me give a couple of examples of what work we are doing with the global team. And when I say global team, we have the global marketing and we have an investment in what we call innovation and science group. Now, what you'll see already this year coming is later this year, we will be launching a dermisonic eye attachment device. We'll also be launching and investing in artistry, in signature select body products. But I think what's crucial to help you understand what we expect in 21, you may have seen recently the new launch in US which is N-by Neutralite, which is a developed product for Neutralite for targeting at a lower price point, specifically at certain need state, but also in a very, what I would say, instagenic sort of style of packaging and obviously offering. That is an example of what we are looking to bring also to Europe. I've just gone through a process with the global team. We are now planning additional nutrition launches, such as probiotics, which I know for many years we in Europe, listening to yourselves as leaders, have talked about the need of having the right supplementation that helps, for example, digestive system. So these are a couple of examples that are coming. Next month in August, what I will be able to share is very specific details of what new launches are coming into Europe and Southern Africa over the next 6 to 12 months' time.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Imran. Ruben, we're going to switch over to you, and actually I'm going to have a series of questions for you, so we're just going to kind of jump right into these. You mentioned LTS, but it seems a little bit unclear. So who exactly will receive the emergency cancellation payments, and do I qualify for next year's LTS in Dubai? Can you just share and reiterate some of those details?
Sure. So all the trackers that right now would have attended the trip will get a payment. Now, we're moving the trip for next year, so we have the same destination, but it's a brand new qualification year. So if you like to attend Dubai Leadership Training Seminar next year, you need to start tracking again, September of 2020. It is a great trip. The expo, or the World's Expo that we were going to have in Dubai also got moved, so very, very attractive. And we know that Dubai is a very sought out destination. And we got a lot of feedback from our leaders that they still wanted to have Dubai as a destination. So we're keeping it there. But the qualification year, it's a brand new race, starts all over. And September of 2020, everyone needs to start requalifying if they want to attend.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ruben. And like I said, for 2 more questions, we're going to stay with you. So next question is on TTCI. And the question is, can I earn 2 TTCIs at the same time if I requalify and qualify for a new level?
And the answer to that is yes, you can. We want all of you to be eligible for these payments. So if you achieve more than 1 level in a year, you will receive both payments that go with that. So we look forward to seeing you achieve. And for those overachievers who go from more than 1 level, they would get more than 1 payment. The requalification also applies for the payment.
Excellent. Thank you for that clarification. And Ruben, one more for you, and this is something that has been wasn't discussed during today's presentation, but something that is clearly on the mind of this audience. So the question is, are you working on a solution to combat the unauthorized sales of Amway products online?
Yes, this is a global challenge that we have.
Next 2 questions are for you.
And I must say it's a challenge that we share. And when I say share, we share the responsibility over it. We don't want product being sold at unauthorized platforms or unauthorized places, because it could be a physical place, such as a market or a bazaar. So we're looking at creative ways to determine what and how we can do this. I have to say that, unfortunately, we have had to terminate more than 6 platinums and above in the last few months. We're taking this very seriously. We abide and follow local laws everywhere, and sometimes that becomes a limitation for us to implement, but definitely not going to stop us on addressing this. I must also ask of the partnership of our leaders to help us deal with this. The reality is, at the end of the day, we only have products there because some leaders, some ABOs, are placing those products there. So education and training play a critical role. In the markets where we have the most incidents, we have done aggressive training on this. We have and will continue to do this in other markets. and know that we are taking diligent and assertive action with those ABOs who are not meeting our rules and are violating them. Unfortunately, that results sometimes in terminations. We ask of your cooperation. We ask that you train and educate the leaders in your group so that they don't find themselves maybe unknowingly violating our rules. But we're taking this very seriously, and we're gonna do this in partnership and make sure that we minimize to the point where we can say that that's not longer a problem. We're being very assertive, as I mentioned, and we have taken a lot of action in the last few months.
Excellent. Thank you for that clarification, Ruben. We've got a couple more questions, and these next two are going to go to Imran. So Imran, the first one is about product price, and it says, Amway products are expensive. How are we supposed to position these products and pricing with our customers?
So we fully are aware about the continuous feedback from yourselves about the competitiveness of our products from a price value. And I focus both on price point and value. So what we have done is deep dive market research across the markets. We know and recognize that maybe 20 to 30% of our products are actually competitive to the nearest competitor. And the remaining around 20% of our products are somewhere around 10 to 20% at a premium to the nearest competition. And I am talking about retail selling price. But we also recognize that a large portion of the products are obviously perceived to be expensive. So that is very clear. What is critical for us right now is that I'm focusing on two elements. One, when I described in terms of the customer and the ABO pricing earlier, we will make changes to the price markup. So today we have somewhere in the region of average 30, 35, up to 40% markup from ABO price to the selling retail price. We will reduce that to 25%, meaning from an ABO plus 25%, it will be the recommended retail price that, of course, a guest and a customer can pay. But of course, a registered customer will actually be attractive and to be paying only ABO plus 10%. We are making this change to help with the perception of our prices. Secondly, we're working very diligently with our supply chain and our manufacturing team. We're looking to see, can we find ways to optimize costs out of the process, out of the product? We recognize, obviously, in the environment we are globally, that that is not as easy as it is seen to be done. Thirdly, what I'm doing with both the marketing team and the innovation and science technical group, but this is also where your role comes in. How do we bring product value through, obviously, new claims, positioning a new story around a product or a selection of products as a bundle? But then what's crucial is where yourselves as leaders become in that community I mentioned. If you have that passion and then obviously are a user of the product, you become an advocate. You become basically an ambassador where you provide confidence and trust to customers that that value that you as a leader can bring is making that purchase. These are high quality graded products, have the right story, and of course we have the whole satisfaction guarantee. So this is not a quick fix. It will be a process that will allow us to focus more on the value and the products that are significantly uncompetitive in the marketplace. We have to discuss and ask the question, what does the reputation mean about having such uncompetitive products? Do we continue to maintain, or maybe we have to discontinue such products to ensure that we stay relevant, compelling, but also competitive to customers? But that is the focus as we move forward through this journey together, to work together with yourselves.
Great, thank you, Imran. I greatly appreciate that clarity. Some very clear steps that Amway is taking to combat price, as well as the actions that our ABO leaders can take to ensure they're articulating that price value. Very important. As I promised you, Imran, I've got one more for you, and this kind of ties into what Melody was saying earlier about the interim steps that we're taking relative to our journey to A70 and the role that digital tools play. And so it says, we've had some issues in the past with the launches of our digital tools. So what are we doing as a company to make sure that we will have positive experiences as we continue to roll out new tools and technologies?
Thank you, Bill. I briefly mentioned earlier when I was talking about the digital transformation. What we have learned, and it's a tough experience that you as leaders experienced, which was that when we launched the new website in 2018 in Scandinavia, we launched a product, which is the new website, that had not been through a quality, rigorous checking of testing with you as leaders. What we learned, unfortunately, after the event was that we sat together, partnered, we engaged, and we talked very openly about how do we make improvements. And what was crucial in that was the most important part is not about time, but the quality of the product we are delivering. So whether it's a website or a mobile application, the process that we are working now when we go market by market with any digital tool or website is we work very closely with yourselves as the local leaders. We work from the concept, what we call the user testing, which is the experience part. And before we actually release the new product as a mobile app or the new website, and I'll share the example of the Iberia, Netherlands, Belgium launch early this year with the new website. From the months of October, November, December, and even in January from last year to the beginning of the year, we did not communicate a timing of launch. We felt until the leaders gave us the green light to say the product, the new website, is of high quality, it is stable, and therefore you can now proceed forward. So to summarize, the only way we can be successful is we continue partnering with yourself, and we work through the different steps of testing and ensuring that there is a high quality of control with you as a leader, but also your groups as users. And finally, what we are continuously doing is we are working continuously with the technology, IT internal group, but also the technology partners. We are ensuring that we have the most compelling and relevant technology, but more importantly, it is integrated into the Amway system as an ecosystem that is very stable. So what we want to avoid is not just launching a good product, but continuously maintain that at a high standard. So that is our commitment to ensure we can provide that trust and confidence to yourself. And I hope the recent experience of the Iberia launch and Netherlands, Belgium can help us slowly build towards that high level of confidence and trust.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Imran, for that. We are coming to the end of our time for our live broadcast, so I'm going to go ahead, close out the Q&A, say thank you to all of our presenters for answering the questions that have come in. Actually, that answered a large majority of them. As I said, if there are any remaining, we will be sure to respond to those. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back over to Melody for her closing remarks. Melody, over to you.
Thanks, Bill, and thank you all again for the great questions and for joining us today. We know that we did not address all of your questions, but we will get back to you within the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, please make sure to leverage your general managers and account managers. They can engage and further discuss these topics that we covered today and answer any questions that you may have. Now, we hope to see all of you on July 22nd for a very special global virtual event called A World Together. This is for all of our ABOs across the enterprise, so everyone, we imagine millions of people joining, as well as our employees here in Europe, Southern Africa, as well as across the globe. And we really want to take this moment to celebrate everything that we've accomplished together during these really challenging COVID-19 times. We will have a special guest at the event, so please and the family, of course, so please make sure to join us. We also plan to host a special event just for Europe immediately after, so stay tuned for more details on our special party after the party. And finally, we plan to have another event in August to further dive into the plans for Europe and Southern Africa. We look forward to seeing you then as well. Thank you all for joining us today, and I wish you all the best until we come together again. Thank you.